Hi there, Loy Machedo. Srini from LoyMachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think personal branding. Okay, I have a couple of UAE-based news. Now, these websites are, you could say maybe it's blocked in UAE or the Middle East, or they are websites where if you visit, they might, you can actually be tracked. So be careful. I'll put the links down below, but I would highly recommend that you do not check the links unless you're ready, 100% sure. Remember, these are news that are not shared on, especially on local news. Okay. So there are a number of topics there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 of them. So if in case I feel the video goes too long, I'll break it down into chunks. Links will be put down below. Let me know your thoughts. So without wasting time, let's start. The first one is, it's taken from EMIRATESleaks.com. It says a shocking number of Israeli companies actively money launder in the UAE. Okay. So what it says here is a government document revealed that a massive activity of Israeli companies in money laundering in the UAE, which has a dark record of covering up these crimes with the involvement of senior officials in the state, which I do not doubt. Because see, every country, it's not just UAE, every country has people at the top who are involved. Like for example, you remember, you can check that video that I have posted where there were a couple of nude females standing on the balcony for a photo shoot, and it was a porno. That was the first time that actually happened, and this happened only after UAE opened its doors with the Abraham Accord to Israel. And then there was no news about it. This was a shocker because it never happened in the history of UAE. They were in the balcony in, I think it was the marina. Okay. And I had the video. I actually had the video, but I couldn't share it. So how did they come in? See, for example, in Dubai, there are prostitutes. If you go to Dera, you go in the nightclubs, and people who have lived in the UAE for many years know that this is a reality. Okay. How do they come? You think all of them are hiding? You think police doesn't know, CIDs don't know? They all know this. But like I've told you, I have had friends in the police, CID, and what they said is, as long as you do your business quietly and don't make a big noise about it, especially on social media, we have no issues. But if someone complains, it is then you have a problem. So, all this goes on, and it's not just UAE, it happens in every single country in the world. There are legal and illegal stuff and people at the top. So, in this one, where money laundering takes place, I'm pretty sure it takes place at the highest levels. Okay. And remember, if everything was legal, you wouldn't have so many crime bosses from Dawood Ibrahim to, I don't know, some Irish mafia boss to all these guys. How do they come into UAE? UAE has the latest, most advanced technology, from scanning your eyes, scanning your face. How is it that they even enter the country? Okay, so don't give me that bullshit that, oh, no, this is all, nobody knows. Come on. Stop being stupid. Okay, so the document is the minutes of the 5th meeting of the Supreme Committee of Supervising for National Strategy to Combat Money Laundering and Terror Financing. Oh my goodness, what a bloody big name. Okay, of 11th February 2021, according to the document, the Director General of the Executive Office for Combating Money Laundering and Terrorism Finance. Why do they have such big names? Okay. Hamid Saif Al-Zaabi confirmed that there are 3,000 suspicious looking bank transactions, STR, suspicious bank transactions. It should be SBR, right? SBT. Okay, STR, suspicious banking transaction. I don't know how they have this. Okay, according to the document, at least 120 Israeli companies contributed significantly to these transactions, and the investigation into the responsibility of the special committee by order of Mohammed bin Zayed. Now, remember this much, that after, the world kind of boxed in Russia, a lot of Russians have scooped up properties in the Middle East, especially in Dubai. That is why the property prices are going up. They're coming out with this news, oh, we have sold so many billions, the highest ever. Who's buying these properties? It is especially Russians who are putting in their money, so their assets can't be frozen if they keep it in terms of, let's say, in a bank account. So when they purchase these properties, they're not buying it directly under their name. They are giving the power of attorney, or they're having an understanding between another person. You buy it in your name, and the understanding is between us. And they are very powerful people. Remember this, even in, for example, India, when they want to launder cash, they'll get some guy from the village and all that who will create multiple bank accounts, and they will get 10% of being a mule. So this is very normal. Okay. Hamid Saif Al-Zaabi also points out that no one else can take up this case, only them. According to the document, the Director General of the Executive Office of Combating Money Laundering and Terrorism added that Turkish companies also contribute to this transaction. So almost everyone, in fact, even Africans. I was very surprised to know from one of my friends who interacts with all these VIPs because he provides a lot of entertainment and all. Africans are very, very rich, very rich. In fact, one of the photographs that one of them had shared with me was on a yacht. You know, Nigerians are not supposed to get visas, many people from many parts of Africa. But he actually showed me these really like African guys sitting there, you know, dressed up in their colorful dress, and a lot of white women and booze and even guns, man, gold plated. I don't know how do they, you know, get this. They obviously, it was not toy guns. Okay. So it's followed by 840 Saudi investors and prince, sorry, who practice economic activity in the UAE without supervision, of course. Well, they don't mind you doing legal stuff as long as you do it legally in the country. What you do outside is nobody's business, unless, of course, US suddenly says, no, we want that guy. According to the document, by the way, do you remember this Indian guy who died? Very rich Indian guy who suddenly died. They say he jumped from the building, which I don't believe that. I can't get his name, man. Indian chap, multi-million billionaire, whatever. According to the document, Al-Zaabi state that the FIU had accomplished only 10% of what is required. What is FIU? For his part, Deputy Secretary General of the Supreme National Security Council, Al-Shamsi, suggested holding a meeting with the concerned authorities ways to discuss how to solve this. The Minister of Finance Affairs also suggested focusing on the increased number of unit staff in parallel with achieving improved results. By the way, this website is translated from Arabic to French to English. That's why maybe the English can be a little haywire. The ministers suggested that the concerned meetings members should meet up with the unit director to consider the issues and also form a board of trustees to supervise it. According to the document, the Deputy Secretary General of the Supreme Council for National Security added that UAE should not be a hotbed for money laundering, but it is. By the way, even in Saudi, that line, how do you think? You think people with hard-earned money, you know, actual money are coming? In fact, when people buy NFTs, when people invest in cryptocurrencies, people buy one small little JPEG image for millions of dollars. You think that's hard-earned money? Come on, man. Okay. Ali bin Hamad al-Shamsi also stressed the previous message of combating money laundering must be strengthened, which it will not. The leaked document proves that authorities in the UAE know very well that the Emirates is a money laundering commission hub. Still, they do not make any efforts to combat statewide to all the economic criminals, especially Israelis. I mean, why would anyone do it? See, listen, the reason why people come there and invest their money is because they know they will be allowed to do as long as they do it legally. So that's why you can open a bank account. You can just dump in millions. Nobody's going to ask you questions when you open a bank account. But any other country in the West, they will, you know, check and figure out. And having said that, that does not mean the people at the top are saints. For example, Nancy Pelosi and all these American Congress people, they have inside information of what policies will impact which stocks and shares, and uh, even before the policy is announced, they have agreements between themselves, what they sell, what they buy. This everyone knows, but nobody can do anything about it. This caused the Financial Action Task Force, Financial Action Task Force, to include UAE in the list of jurisdictions subject to increased monitoring, which is very true. So this was one. So it seems UAE is well aware of active money laundering activities in the UAE. What do you think? Do you think this report is fake? Do you think it's true? Put your comments and thoughts down below, and let's move on to the next topic.